Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well on this Tuesday afternoon. It is July the 1st. If you can believe that. July 1st, 2025. I don't care what anybody says. Time is moving faster than it used to. And it's not because we're getting older. I don't buy that at all either. I don't care what you say. It's going faster than it did before. I believe that's biblical too. Speaking of which, I have a terrific passage, maybe two, that I'm going to share with you towards the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. It will give you encouragement. I promise. You may not agree with everything I say, and I'm cool with that. Just stick with me to the end of it because it is encouragement. It's encouragement for anybody and everybody. So give it a shot. Give it a shot. Hit the like button if you like the video. It helps us out. I appreciate that too. I'm going to talk about the good and the bad, the ugly, the big, the beautiful, ugly, the bill that everybody's talking about now, that it did go through, it did pass the Senate. Now it's got to go back to the House and get through that, which is not a total given. It did go through the Senate, it passed, looks like earlier today or last night. I can't even remember. It's hard to keep up. I'm going to go into more detail about the good and the bad, the ugly of it. But first, I'm going to do a couple of news items. Also, this bill, like I said, it's got to go through the House. In the Senate, it did require the Vice President to push it over the edge to break the tie. So Vance had to come in and do that. Rand Paul, probably the most noteworthy opponent of this thing. Also, Tom Tillis of, I think, North Carolina. And there was one other, I can't remember her name. But Rand Paul, anytime Rand Paul disagrees with something, I do notice. I pay attention to that because I just do. I mean, this guy typically makes a lot of good sense. Maybe not, 100% of the time. None of us do. But I really pay attention to what he says. I pay attention to how he behaves. I really do. This Rand Paul of Kentucky. There was a comment in the video, I think last night or the night before, can't remember, that said the world is spiraling. This world is spiraling, definitely. We use that term in my work when somebody is maybe not in full-blown crisis yet, but they are spiraling. They are heading towards that. And that's what this world is doing. This world is spiraling. It's in crisis, and it's going to get worse. But I'm going to try to be positive here, okay? Couple of news items. 2 Chinese nationals were arrested for spying on United States Navy personnel and bases. They were here on a tourist visa. They were, among other things, and they were also trying to recruit others to do tasks for them and pay them in big sums of cash. That's how they got caught. Also, they were taking photos of bulletin boards with names, programs, and hometowns of Navy personnel and Navy recruits, y'all. That's weird. That's disturbing. Speaking of disturbed, glad they got caught though. Speaking of disturbing, this Brian Koberger, I guess I'm saying his name right. Now, this dude that's been accused of, he's been in custody for a while now, I think, since 2022, for the murder of these Idaho college students. You may remember in Moscow, Idaho. These were college kids. 4 of them, 1 guy, 3 girls. Brutal. Let's say, used a knife, all right? All 4 of them. First of all, dude's got to be some sneaky little demon or something to go in and knock off 3 college girls and a dude and a guy. Maybe they were passed out. I don't know. But anyway, that is just some demon from hell. I don't know what corner he jumped out of. But anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up is that this dude doesn't need to be breathing, okay? He made a plea deal. If you haven't heard already, he made a plea deal for, if he pleads guilty to the murder of these, capital murder of these 4 kids, he will get life without parole, so he won't go on death row. And understandably, the families are livid. Yeah, I'd be livid if I were the father of one of these kids. I would probably need to be put in jail, because I would do more than yell and scream. I would take action, and I probably would be put in jail. Yeah. So he was offered a plea deal for that brutal of an act, of that heinous crime, y'all. I mean, think about how bad that had to be. The graphic of that had to be just completely horrendous. And he's going to be allowed to just stay in prison for the rest of his life. I get it, no parole, but he gets spared death row. You know, it's just another reminder of the justice system. There's so much wrong with it on many levels. But that's a crime. That should be a crime to do that, to allow that to happen. This judge, I don't. Yeah, if I were family, y'all, I would probably be in trouble. I'd be in trouble. That's not justice. That's not justice. Hopefully somebody will take care of him while he's in prison, you know what I mean? It might happen. These were kids. I don't think they were 20 years old. I think they were teenagers when this happened. Or they might have been 20 or something. Anyway, it's awful. Now, before I say the next thing, I voted for Trump all 3 times. I'd vote for him again, especially against Kamala. I mean, come on. But sometimes he says stuff and I'm like, that's not necessary to say that way. I mean, he said that if the big, beautiful bill doesn't pass, we're going to see a 68% tax hike on middle America. 68% tax hike, and it'll be the biggest in history. Now, mind you, it went through the Senate, but it's still got to go through the House, so it's not a given yet. I mean, come on. The Republicans can't get this through. It's going to be a 68% tax hike on Americans. The biggest in history. This is a massive spending and tax bill. I can't even put it in words. I mean, we're taxed to the max already, y'all. I know you can say, well, not to the max. I mean, but we're taxed at a criminal level. I mean, really, if you think about it. Income tax, payroll tax, capital gains, property, sales. I know that's state level. Sales tax, tariffs. I mean, it just, the list that goes on and on. Every day to Sunday, all day long, we're taxed. All right. To say that it's going to be 68% is freaking asinine. It's asinine. All right, now that I got that said, like I said, it's past the Senate. Vance had to come in and push it over the edge. We'll see what happens in the House. Now, it's got positives. It's got positives. I'm going to point them out, to be fair. I believe it's going to pass. It's got positives. It's going to help. There are 2 things that I don't like about it in particular that they're not talking about. Elected officials are not talking about it. They won't breathe a word of it. Well, except for maybe Rand Paul. I'm gonna go there first. The two main things I don't like about it is, like Rand Paul said. He said, "Yeah, there's good things in it. Hey, I would vote for it. However, it's going to add at the minimum $3 trillion to the national debt, and I can't sign on for that. I'm sticking to my principles. I gotta respect that." And then the other thing I don't like is the moratorium for states that can't modify or regulate artificial intelligence for 10 years. Now, I get it. AI is here. The genie ain't getting put back in the bottle. All right. It's like an arms race, especially between the United States and China. Whoever wins this AI race in the next 5 years, it's been said, in the next 5 years will be the undisputed superpower of the world. I believe that too. So AI is already here in many ways. It's going to advance at probably a scary level. However, states should be able to regulate and do what they want. I would think, states' rights, they're states' rights too, right? For 10 years, it's done. Yeah, it's well over in 10 years, right? So those two things I don't really like about it. It's 941 pages. It's a behemoth. Now, there's some good things. There's some good things in here. It's going to make the 2017 tax cuts permanent. If you pay taxes, it's going to help you. No federal tax on tips. I don't know how many people that would really help. The thing that might help more is no tax on overtime. I would hope that really helps. I hope. That sounds good. No tax on overtime. If you buy an American-made car, in other words, if 75% of the parts of an automobile are made in America, you get a tax credit. That's good. Seniors making less than $165,000 will get an extra $2,000 tax deduction. There's more money allocated for border security, hiring more border agents, and Lord knows they need help. ICE, border, we need that for sure. And then more money, of course, to the military. That's going to happen regardless, whether you like it or not. And, they say China's building 10 ships to our one. Is the quality the same? Probably not. Our quality's got to be better. I would hope. Lord, I would hope. But still, they're building 10 to 15 ships to our one. That's crazy. It does cut food stamp. It makes SNAP food stamp requirements. It does make them more stringent. So it makes it a little more difficult to be eligible for food stamps and SNAP. They probably do need to tighten that up. I hope it doesn't go to people. I hope it doesn't prevent somebody who really does need it, who's disabled. That's my only issue there. But they do need to regulate. They do need to tighten that up, and I agree with that one. Medicaid, they're going to cut Medicaid, or basically put some more, make it a little more difficult to be eligible for Medicaid, especially if you're able-bodied. You got to be able to be looking for work or be working. I think the biggest thing too is eliminate it for somebody who's in the country illegally. If you're a non-citizen, why are you getting Medicaid? That's for citizens. Now, if you are not able-bodied, if you are disabled, you're an American citizen, you should be eligible. Now, if you're just lazy and you don't have a disability and you ain't hitting the stick for nothing, no, you shouldn't. It should be more difficult for you to get it. But I think the biggest thing is the freebies on non-citizens, people who are in the country illegally. Cut that crap out. They're about bankrupting the country, the healthcare system for that. So definitely that. Again, the 10-year ban, the moratorium on regulating AI for states, I don't like that. Adding at least $3 trillion in national debt. I don't like that. But there are good things in it. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good and the ugly, if you want to put it that way. At the end of the day, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make for an average American, though. That's the thing. That's the bottom line for the dog line is that at the end of the day, if it passes, if it doesn't pass, I don't think it's going to make or break the average American per se. You know what I mean? So I'm not getting a lot of people are losing their, what, over this bill. Either way, like whether you for it or not, it's polarized. It's gotten people losing friends over it. That's a bunch of BS, man. Hey, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. I mean, I probably got friends that I don't agree with it on. I mean, at the end of the day, a year from now, is it gonna? Does it really gonna make a difference for you in the next 5 to 10 years? I don't know. The one that really concerns me is adding more to the national debt. Now that can affect us all. However, on the tax breaks and all, that can help the average American put a little more money, free up a little more money for the average person. Maybe so. If you work a lot of overtime, that might help you. So, but like I said, bottom line, for your average middle class American, I don't know. I mean, keeping the tax, not having a huge tax increase will definitely help us. So that's good. So for me, it's a mixed bag. Anyway, my biggest thing is we need more, and I think we were expecting, especially after the election, we were expecting, probably we shouldn't be, unrealistically expected things to change in a snap after January, right? We thought gas was going to go back to $1 something a gallon, and everything was going to get cut in half in price. I mean, no, it wasn't going to happen anyway. But I think we need more. We need more some kind of break for the middle class people, the backbone, the people who are working every day. We get up every day in the morning. We throw coffee down our necks so fast that we choke on it to get out the door and go to work because we want to keep paying the bills, keep afloat, and maybe save a couple of dollars. We need something to help us out a little bit more as well. Beyond this, in my opinion, income tax help. Social Security, taxes on Social Security. People need more help for seniors. Where's the Doge refund? Interest breaks. We need something else. Where's our dividend payment back for all the Doge savings? And what's happening with that? Are they still looking to streamline stuff? Is Doge still even a thing? I'm not even going to go into Musk, but I mean, it sounded all great at first. Was it just smoke and mirrors there for a while? I don't know. I believe they were really uncovering waste and fraud and stuff like that. I really do. I don't know who got arrested yet. That's another whole thing. But we need to see more relief on the folks. That's I know I keep saying that, but we got to see that. We've got to see that. I saw something that I ain't seen. I don't think I've ever seen, especially where we live out here, y'all. I'm in a large chain grocery store the other day, and a female and her daughter, or I guess looked like it could be her daughter, were going around to customers and opening up the little cardboard thing that you see people that are homeless hold up the little cardboard, help, God bless, help, whatever. I need food, I need money, whatever. And they were walking around, spoke very little English, and we're just walking around up to people and opening up that sign, asking for money. In the store, where we live. Now, we don't have public transportation here within 20 miles here. It doesn't matter anymore these days. I've never seen that before. That's a first. I'm seeing them more in places that you don't see them typically. Homeless. Or at least they're acting like they're homeless. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, I think we're going to see a big increase in that. And not just people who can't speak the language either. It's going to be regular Americans right there on the line with them. That's what I believe. I've gone on probably too long here. I'm going to go to the passage. Forgive my rants. I don't know, I just end up saying a lot of stuff I don't even have in my notes, y'all. I don't even mean to say, and I just come out with it. So bear with me. I'm going back into Psalm parts of 139. I just love Psalm 139. I'm going to read a couple little sections. Verse 14. Praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. He made us. He doesn't make anything by mistake. He makes no mistakes. He made you and I for a reason, for a purpose. We're here in this time for a purpose. And we were made for this time. That's got to be comforting. The world, I said at the top, the world is spiraling. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. But we were made in this time for this time. Rest assured. Okay. Also down in verse 23, search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me and lead me in the way everlasting. Amen. That's like an awesome prayer. I mean, right there. Heck, we need to see that. We need to say that every day, right? And he does. He listens. He listens. He is with us. So I hope that's encouraging. Share your thoughts. Let's be respectful in the comments, y'all. And let's be alert. Let's be safe out there. We don't know what's going to happen from dang hour to hour, do we? Stay close to Jesus. God bless y'all. See you soon.